So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stephan Kraschansky. I'm the managing director of AARONIA Austria, so a neighboring country of Slovakia. Me, myself, I've been a military officer the last 10 years. I've been the company commander of the first European counter-drone element. And today, together with my staff sergeants, with my technical staff sergeants, I'm here at the exhibition, and it's a pleasure to talk about countering drones. So whatever we heard about this conference, it was about the friendly use of drones. I'm more focused on the unfriendly and uncooperative use of drones, how to detect them and how to engage them. So when we talk about AARONIA, we are talking about a German company which is developing spectrum analyzers for more than 20 years. Everything you see and everything I'm talking about is produced, manufactured and engineered in Germany. From the analyzer, from the FPGA, to the cablings, to the antennas. It's like an end-to-end product where we can guarantee the maximum out of the stuff. And we are combat-proven, we are civilian environmentally proven, we are prison-proven, however you want to name it. We have more than 200 installations worldwide. We do very, very high-scale VIP events, for example, G20, G7, G8. So just to show you my perspective on drones, I would like to show you the threat. Everybody knows about the values drones are adding to our airspace, drones are adding to our leisure time, drones are adding to our, friendly use of drones thing. But they are very, very easy to equip with whatever payload can be transported on a drone. We start with the standard 40mm grenades launched from a DJI Phantom 4, Phantom 3, Mavic, whatever. And if we look to Ukraine now, it has not changed. It's staying completely the same. Just the platforms which are used are more than just DJI. But the concept of bringing the payload from A to B with a drone, it's still the same. One of my favorite pictures is the middle picture where Angela Merkel, former German chancellor, was facing a small drone and was smiling at it. Because it's just a toy, isn't it? The problem is putting 25 grams of a bore cartridge on it will explode this little drone directly in front of her face. Nobody was aware of the risk which could have been transported at this time. When we look further to the Middle East, they were the early adopters of the small man's Air Force. So they used Phantom 3s, Phantom 4s to equip it with water bottles, put the grenade inside, just made any dropping mechanisms and flew it into the enemy. Form, size, color may vary, but the things which is going to be transported are the same. So when I did my basic training, I had to carry an RPG. Today, they are going to fly around.
На поле боя.
Новыми образцами техники, которые мы сегодня показываем.
That's a very, very old video from 2017. So the technology is like 7 to 8 years in place already. It's used on a daily basis. Not in Austria, not in Slovakia, but not far from here. When we look to the Ukraine war, we see the usage of drones has changed to transport goods and the beds from A to B. But they do it on a different scale. We've heard in the previous speech, it's about 5,000 to 10,000 drones per day, which are lost. So how they do it? They use everything they have to just equip on a big copter. And what we see when we look to Ukraine, and we deployed a lot of systems to Ukraine, so I have a very real feedback from what's happening there is, they're always using two drones. One is spotting the target, the second one is flying the attack. Now there are maybe some differences. The one is using FPV to attack, the other one is using a quadcopter to attack, but it's still one does the target acquisition, the other one flies the attack. And you see they are utilizing DJI, they are utilizing Autel, they are utilizing Chinese manufactured drones, they are utilizing FPV drones, they are using everything which is flying. And when we look to the other side, a very, very famous representative is, for example, the Orlan 10. Very nice fixed-wing drone, high range, easy to build, easy to detect, but with a lot of problems causing on the respective side. So in this video, all of the videos are shown online on TikTok, on Instagram, whatever. So what it means is that if you have bad things in mind, you simply go to TikTok today and they show you how to make a successful attack with a drone. That's pretty scary. That's a T-72, I guess. One of the drones is spotting the target. Then we see a FPV drone flying into the target and harming this armored vehicle very, very seriously. And that's threatening all of us. And today I want to go with you through a quick scenario, which can happen in Slovakia today, in Austria, in Germany, wherever. Let's take, for example, a famous football stadium in Vienna, the Ernst Happel Stadium. 60,000 people can watch, or 50,000 people can watch a football game there. And let's say we want to attack the stadium. So what we're going to do, we have an object to attack, done. Now we need a vehicle to equip. And as we know that jammers for 2.4 gigahertz, 5.8 gigahertz, they are easy to get. You can order it on AliExpress. Today, a lot of armies are equipped with standard counter-drone measures. That means we simply take a drone which is off these frequencies. And being off these frequencies is very, very easy. You don't have to be a rocket engineer. You simply go to AliExpress, buy a LoRa module, and program it to any frequency you want to use it. That's exactly what we did. So we bought on eBay Kleinanzeigen, will haben. It's a platform for private selling. We bought a drone. Payload 1.4 kilogram, and it was a double, pay one, get two offer. So we bought two. We spent 360 euros on the drone, ordered the module from AliExpress, and guess what? We have an undetectable RF object and the undefeatable RF object. If you have a jammer in your repository which can jam any frequency between 150 megahertz and 1.2 gigahertz live without any changing, okay, then I'm useless here. But it's simply not existent until now. So we made a flight path. We made our planning very easy. We didn't want to violate the civilian airspace. That's why we stick to the EASA regulations, 120 meters height, totally fine. We found out it takes us 60 seconds for one attack. Then we calculated, okay, if they call the police because somebody sees us, whatever, the police will take 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, so we do 2 attacks. Very easy, bringing 4.8 kilograms of payload to the football stadium. Because every counter-US company out there was focusing on ISM bands, 2.4 gigahertz, 5.8 gigahertz, 433 megahertz, 868, whatever. But guess what? If you are a serious attacker, you simply do not care about if it's allowed to fly there, if it's forbidden. You just utilize the flying platform you get. And everybody can Google what is an ISM band. And everybody can Google how to avoid these bands. If we know it, they know it as well. So if we take drone detection for serious, we have to go to full spectrum detection and full spectrum mitigation. Otherwise, it's not possible to mitigate this drone, and it's not possible to detect this drone. Also, those takeover measures, they will not work off the standard frequencies. So now there's the advertisement part, except you're using our products. So what we do is a world-unique way of doing full spectrum passive RF detection. That means we're going to scan every single frequency, beginning at 400 megahertz, we can go lower, and ending at 6 gigahertz. And then we direction find those signals, and we classify whether it's an air target, a ground target, a moving object, a still object, whatever. And yes, there are radio silent objects. Then you add on a radar. The radar will give you another sensor view which could be calculated into your C2 system. And if you want to inspect the thing, then you're going to need a camera. The problem is, of course, you can go towards the 100% of detection, but the costs will rise exponentially. So mitigating, or like having drone detection, having drone mitigation, is always a compromise. It's always a trade-off between what's the object I have to protect, who's the enemy I'm gonna face, and what's the value I have to protect. And then if you have the idea of what to do, you always have to make the decision. And what we are doing in Austria, I can just for Austria, we are postponing the decision as long as something happens. And when something happens, it must be in place immediately. Best would be tomorrow. But Ukraine shows us on a daily basis, if you want to order a new weapon system today, you have to wait. Because there is not enough production capabilities on the planet at the moment. So when we want to mitigate these things, and I'm speaking about full spectrum detection, I'm sure you want to see the full spectrum mitigation at the same point. So what we did is we built a jammer which is capable, and this is now a video, of mitigating any RF frequency between 400 megahertz and 6 gigahertz. So in fact, I don't care which frequency the attacker is utilizing. I simply don't care, because I see it and I can set the jammer manually to any frequency I want to set it. And it's live, without changing cables, without changing any amplifiers, just software-defined jamming. You can make it narrower, you can make it broader, you can make it wideband. And the very unique thing about it, it's not a magical device which will be invented. It's already fielded within European armies. It's fielded within Asian armies. And we use it on a very regular basis, because if you take drone detection for serious, you have also take the mitigation part for serious. And a lot of questions I hear when we look at this video is, oh, is it allowed to jam these frequencies? No, of course not. But you are being attacked. There is a guy who is bringing explosives to your protected area. Now we can hide behind regulations. We can hide behind telecom laws. But at the end of the day, it's either you or him. And that's the decision which is thrown at us in peacetime. There is no war, a right of war or whatever. It's a decision which has to be done on a very short notice. You maybe have just 30 seconds, 25 seconds. So this chain of command, it cannot be escalated to the Ministry of Defense and can escalate it down to say, yes, you can jam now on an off frequency. No, it has to be a standard practice which is going to be used by all of your operators if you take your counter-drone operations seriously. Where we did it, when I'm not here in beautiful Slovakia, I'm in NATO summits. We are installed at major international airports like Heathrow, Singapore, Muscat. We do Formula 1 protections, and the most beautiful job I have done so far is doing the G20 protection last year in Bali. I can promise you it's a very nice place to be and to work there. Just add on a week of vacation, and I would thank you for your attention, and I'm happy to have 1 minute to answer all your questions you have. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure talking to you.